Well, welcome to our Easter weekend podcast series as we look at Easter weekend. And today is Good Friday, a day marked by sorrow, reflection, and profound love. So, whether you're listening at home or on a walk or somewhere in between, I want to invite you to slow down, just to take a moment, wherever you are, just pause. You see, Good Friday remembers the crucifixion of Jesus, a moment in history that, on the surface, looks like loss, like failure, and like the end of the story. But within it lies something deeper, something eternal: sacrifice, forgiveness, and redemption. And today, we don't rush past the pain, we sit with it. Just imagine this scene. The sky is dimming, as if creation itself is grieving. The air feels heavy, and there's confusion, anger, and fear. A crowd gathers, some shouting, some silent, and some unsure of what they've seen, witnessing. And there, in the center of it all, is Jesus. He's bruised, exhausted, and by carrying the weight of the cross. Not just the physical weight, but something far greater: the weight of humanity's brokenness, the weight of betrayal, and the weight of suffering. And yet, he keeps going. See, it's easy to romanticize these moments from a distance, but if we really sit with it, it's uncomfortable. Because Good Friday focuses on the us to confront something that we often avoid. That love, real love, is costly. It's not always easy, and it's not always fair. It doesn't always feel good. And sometimes love looks like sacrifice. And then, in one of the most powerful moments ever recorded, we hear these words: Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. So there's not anger, not revenge, not even self-defense. There's just forgiveness. In the middle of the pain, he chooses mercy. So just let that sink in for a moment. Because if we're honest, forgiveness is really hard, especially when the wound is deep, especially when the hurt feels undeserved. We live in a world that often tells us to hold on to anger, to protect ourselves, to keep score. But Good Friday offers a different way, a way that says healing begins where forgiveness starts. So let me ask you something. Who do you need to forgive? Maybe it's someone who hurt you recently. Maybe it's something from years ago that still lingers. Or maybe it's yourself. Sometimes the hardest forgiveness is the one that we withhold from ourselves. We replay mistakes, we carry guilt, and we hold on to the things long after we've been given permission to let go. But Good Friday reminds us you don't have to carry it alone. The cross represents more than suffering. It represents a transfer, a laying down of burdens, a release. Everything heavy, everything broken, everything we try to carry on our own. It was never meant to stay on your shoulders. So today, reflect on this. What burdens are you carrying that you don't need to carry anymore? Is it regret, resentment, or fear? And what would it look like to just lay that down? Good Friday is quiet for a reason, because it invites honesty, not the polished version of ourselves, but the real one, the one that struggles, the one that doubts, and the one that hurts. And somehow, even there, we are met with love. There's something else about today that matters. It's the tension. See, Good Friday sits between what was and what is to come. It doesn't resolve everything, it doesn't tie things up neatly. It simply asks us to stay, to sit in the space between pain and hope. And maybe that's where you are right now, in between what you expected and what actually happened, between loss and healing, between questions and answers. If that's you, you're not alone. Because Good Friday reminds us, even when things are unfinished, even when the story seems unclear, something sacred is still unfolding. Not everything is visible in the moment. Not everything makes sense right away. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. So today, don't push past this. Don't skip ahead to celebrate just yet. Let this day be what it is: quiet, honest, heavy but meaningful. If you can, take time today to step away from distractions, reflect, be still, and maybe sit in the silence just for a few moments, and maybe write down what you're holding on to, or even maybe just simply breathe and let yourself feel. Because in this space, something shifts. Not always dramatic, not always instantly, but gently, quietly. So Good Friday may begin in sorrow, but it doesn't end there. So thank you for being here today, for taking the time to pause, to reflect, to sit in this moment. And that reminds me of what my son said once. He said, "What's good about Good Friday?" Well, the good is that God is with us through all our moments. So tomorrow we step into the silence of waiting. But for now, stay here, stay present, because even the darkest moments, something sacred is unfolding. And so until tomorrow, I will see you tomorrow as we go into Easter Saturday.